All right, all right. I am live, and there is this beautiful lighting here in my living room. I'm so excited. This is what I love about the when the daylight is there longer. Over here it's 7 o'clock at night, as you saw when I had posted a live. And so this is a very special topic here. But before I dive into it, I'm just gonna send a message. I'll talk while I'm sending the message. Um, all right. So I decided to talk about this tonight because I recently did. Hey, thanks for coming. High vibe freak. All right. And so I had to jump on here after I did that short video and stuff. And there was a question which I'm getting to. I saw your question. I'm going to respond it. And it was something about not thinking about your twin flame and how it's a different frequency of knowing, having an inner knowing. So I'm going to walk you guys through the process. And hi, Chloe, of reunion as it unfolds. Okay. And keep in mind, everybody's journey is different. And so it can look different for you. What I'm describing is from experience and observation. The reason why I let you know is because I hear the question all the time. It's like, I'm healing. What does it look like? What does it feel like? I'm confused. I'm doing all the work and I'm not seeing anything, right? Okay. I have to start by saying it is not meant for you to be seeing something. It's not see, if many of you know mind versus soul. The mind wants to know everything. The mind wants to see it in order to believe it. It's got to look like something. It needs to show up a certain way. It's got to be, right? It's not seeing. This is something that is felt. But before you can actually feel it, some of you are feeling it already and stuff like that. But when you know that it's coming, is when you can first break through the mind. Okay. That's the first process. That is the first process. As long as there is where are they? I want them right now. I need to be thinking about them. I need to be feeling my twin flames energy. I need all this stuff to happen, right? As long as that is there, there is this perceived separation and the energy that comes from, I need it right now. I need these things, feels like too much. Okay. I did a video on energy and what that is like. Energy is really, really powerful. When we talk about energy, we're not talking about it's so very minor that it's not going to be felt. If I only do this, they're not going to know this. They're not going to feel it and that kind of stuff. It doesn't work like that. The energy is there and it's just there. Okay. It's there. There's no little bit here, just a little bit of this and that kind of stuff. And you might be like, okay, Machine, I am part human. I'm not just soul. So what if I happen to think about my person? You know, Again, let's keep in mind energy. There is a difference in the energy of I need it right now, daydreaming, living in the fantasy all day, every day. The obsessive thoughts, which I hear from you, is a lot, and feeling like you can't focus on yourself, then if they just pop up in your mind and that kind of stuff. Just so you know, they're there in your thoughts, and there's no energy behind it. They're just there in your thoughts. There's a difference. Okay, there is. And so, all right, you might be like you're running around with this, but hold on. I mentioned I was going to have this one message I have to type. Uh, Sorry, I'm still with you guys. Okay. I got that squared away. So I am fully focused on you. And of course, the sun is falling, so it's shining differently on my face. Okay. So this is my observation. Okay. And I want to first explain this. Oh, that the process is nothing you talk yourself into. At least the work that I do is nothing you talk yourself into. You can't actually convince yourself that you can't think about your twin flame and all this kind of stuff, right? Because you're thinking about your twin flame in the process of telling yourself not to think about this person. And the mind just wants to think about things because it's used to doing that. There is this used to being outside of your body kind of thing that's been happening before you met your twin flame, because we got to take a lot of the twin flame out of a lot of this stuff. Okay, it's this being outside of your body for a while, a long while. I was guilty. What are they thinking? What are they saying? How can I get them to do this? Like outside, outside, outside. Okay, so when I work with clients, I'm gonna get to my story. I'll get to clients first because I was not the same way. I was bombarded by the universe. Okay, all right. So, but this is my observation here, and it took a long time for me to release resistance and begin to listen to myself. Right. Okay. So the work I do is we heal you. Okay. This just healing you. And in the process of healing you, we heal that disconnect that you have with yourself. You know what I'm talking about. The people pleasing, overly concerned about others, putting yourself to the side, unable to speak your truth, hiding yourself in some kind of way, just really being detached from yourself. So in a way that it's not therapy, but very similar. Okay. So we look at these things and I give guidance on not so much what to find through interaction, and it's mostly talking. Okay. Nothing about you need to do this, this, and this. Okay. Mostly talking. I'm able to hear where the disconnect is and say, you know what? That needs, that's an area for healing. Let's go into this and heal this part, heal this belief that's going on inside of you. Because it's hard, I have to say, it's hard to hear yourself sometimes. Okay. And that's me. I had to hire someone for myself so I can know, so I can see it. So I'm able to see it and help the person to break that pattern, that belief, and develop newer ones. Okay. This doesn't have anything to do with the twin flame. And I have to say, I just really enjoy it because I have super creative clients. And if you're on this live, you catch the replay, just know I love hearing from all of you and the creativity that goes on with releasing these beliefs. And that's all it is. And then before you know it, I usually hear, I haven't been thinking about my twin flame. Like, I feel worried about that. Okay. And that's where I'm usually like, you're doing well. Now, this is the thing that many of you, if you've experienced this, might feel when that happens. Oh my goodness, are we disconnected? Oh my goodness, am I losing my twin flame? This is still a fear of abandonment, okay? Some sort of fear. I would say more abandonment, rejection, abandonment is still similar. So we still work on that. Okay. You might be like, but I need to, no, no. Let's take the twin flame out of this because I've let a lot of you know this. You've been following my videos and that kind of stuff. This need to feel something in someone else and so forth leads to things like codependency. Okay. It's an energy that pushes them away. It leads to overthinking, overanalyzing, obsessive thinking, and so forth. What you're healing is you coming into you. Because in order for you to experience a connection with someone, it starts with you experiencing a connection within yourself first. Okay? Whoever it was, taught us to love from outside of our bodies. And so we leave our body and try to convince this person, hey, I need you. Okay. That's attachment. You're attaching to the person or a particular outcome and you want it so bad. Okay. While feeling empty on the inside, feeling unfulfilled, unlovable, whatever beliefs that has been running through your mind, not just with your twin flame, but was there before. So we heal that first. Okay. And this is that point where, again, observation, the person's thinking less about their twin is where the ego begins to break down. The ego that likes to see separation, okay, let's see it, feel it, and all this kind of stuff. That's what the ego does. Gets broken down. And now it's without even trying, without even convincing yourself, it's like, wow, I'm in my body. I'm actually in my body. And I feel relieved. I feel, all of this kind of stuff. This is what I hear. I feel relieved. Like I haven't been able to stop this obsessive thinking. I've tried everything and I just feel relieved. And we do this mostly through talking, interaction, and then finding out where the disconnect is. Okay. All right. So then you're like, all right, Asheen, all right. Release obsessive thinking. All that is gone. I'm not really thinking about my twin flame. So how on earth am I supposed to experience this connection with someone if I'm not even thinking about them? Okay. This is interesting. This is interesting. This is the point where I got to learn this firsthand, how this works. So when you release the thoughts, all thoughts around connection, and your energy is balanced, there's just this pull that occurs. That's all. No thinking about it, planning it, what should I do, and then just really being in a place of zen. So after this release of obsessive thinking happens, some of you are like, this is crazy, Asheen, right? So after this releases, there's usually a feeling of euphoria. I want to describe it. I heard someone else describe this too, but in relations with meditation and things like those, it literally feels like you're in a meditative state all day. Okay. And it feels calm and it feels relaxing, it feels zen. That's what I usually hear, right? So there's a breakdown of the ego, and then moving. This is the point where a person moves into soul and just feels so calm and zen and like, ah, okay. And there is this inner knowing. Okay, if there's one very important part of this live session, it is this one right here. Okay, it's this one right here. And I understand if many of you are like, I don't know, I don't see it, I don't believe it, I can't be convinced that this person's coming back. Okay, there is this strong inner knowing that the twin flame is coming back. That's it. I don't need to see it, believe it, feel it, anything like that. All right. Sorry about that. There was a phone call that came in. I just simply know. Okay. I just know. I don't know why I know. I just know. So this is the trouble that I had in my own journey, was the knowing. And being very much in the matrix of it all. Why is this person? This was me. Why is he doing that? It looks like he's doing this. It looks like he's doing that. He's running away. I don't believe it. There's no way. All of this, and could not get myself out of it. And even though I tell you, I was a coach at the time and I was teaching it and believing it for everybody else. because that's what a lot of us do out here, is that we don't water our own garden and have that belief within our own journey. Okay. If this is you, if you're in that point, Isheen, I can't be convinced, I don't believe it, don't believe it. I'm a big believer wherever you are in your journey, that's where you're meant to be. Embrace it, love yourself. Okay. Because the journey for me to get to that point of, I believe it, 100%, 120%, like beyond whatever, was through experiences. Okay. This is what I always say. If you cannot, you don't have to force yourself. There isn't one part of this journey where you need to force yourself for anything at all. All this stuff will happen naturally for you. And the universe prepares you and guides you and tells you what to do. Now, all you have to do is heal yourself from feeling triggered, the negative voices, and all this kind of stuff so you can actually experience this connection. Okay. So there was, I don't believe it. This is impossible. And lots of lots of resistance, guys. I had so much of it, like universe leave me alone kind of thing, right? And it was really when all those experiences, some of you watch my videos, you watch my story, where I just kept seeing how I wasn't winning. I was like, I'm not winning. Okay, step back a little bit with this light. Not winning. you know I The universe says go to A. I said, "Nah, I don't think so. I'll go to B. B's not working out. Okay, I'll try A. A's working. I don't have the patience. Let me go back to B. B's not working out." That kind of stuff. It was like, all right, I'm going to figure out how to make B work because I'm not going to A. I have too much fear towards A. Okay. I'm not going that direction that the universe is telling me, no way, I'm not doing it. I'm shivering. I have no feet. I can't. I have no strength, no words, all this kind of stuff. I'm not doing it. Major, major fear of rejection. Okay, so I will stick to B. And guess what? B kept failing and failing. And I was like, I'll work harder. Kept failing. Till I got to the point I was like, okay, I'll choose A. And staying with that. All right. Because the universe was not playing around. And then my work was unfolding and my life was changing because I continuously kept choosing my path. Yes, there were times I was like, okay, me being stubborn, okay? Took a few times to be like, all right, I'm going to really stick with this. And the reason I say that is because when your thoughts are wavering and you're like, I don't know if this is really going to happen, you move in the direction of, I don't know. The universal laws are always working. They're always working. They don't sleep. So there's this, I don't know, with the universe. And everything looks like an I don't know. And when you're like, I do know, I don't have a question. I feel it. All with it in every cell of mine. I know. There's no doubt with the universe. Okay. And this is when a couple of things can happen. One is either you're guided into doing whatever it is for the doors for reunion to occur. Okay. I don't always see that happen, but that happened to me. They're like, well, you got to do these things. And so me saying, okay, I choose my path, but kept delaying. And I had to heal that. Why was I delaying? And so forth. Sometimes you have fear in yourself that you don't even know is there. And then it's like, okay, why do I keep having this particular pattern when I know what the outcome, I don't know how it's going to look like, but I know what the outcome is going to look like. Why do I keep running from that? And it was because of fear. Okay, so some more healing around that. Usually, in the case that I notice, there isn't. I love my clients, and you too. The ones out here who are like, I love all of you. Yeah, but I say this because my clients have this will. Okay, I No. And I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out how to have this connection because I know what I know. What I know it. And no one can tell me otherwise. And I'm like, you know what? It took me years to get there. Really took me years to get there. And perhaps years for them as well. By the time they get to me, they're just like, I know what I know and I know it. And it's not going away. But I'm doing this healing for myself to understand me and to understand this connection and to just have some understanding of what's going on, to heal obsessive thinking, to heal from the pain and that kind of stuff. But otherwise, other than that, I know. Okay. I have to say, all my clients were in that knowing, which is okay originally, and that's fine. Because, like I always say, when this does happen, and it does, I come across some clients who are just like, I'm not sure, and I say, love yourself, okay? Love yourself through it. Love yourself wherever you are in the journey. Do not force yourself. There's nothing in this journey where you have to force yourself and convince yourself to make something happen. Nothing at all, okay? You are where you need to be. And from my experience, it is through the experience of things unfolding, of listening to yourself, getting to know your intuition, learning how accurate your intuition really is when it comes to this journey, breaking the ego, all of this kind of stuff. When other areas of your life begin to unfold, because you're like, I'm going to listen. You say to the universe, I'm here. I'm going to listen. I'm finally going to listen. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to be doing, not what I'm not supposed to be doing, which is listening. Because many of you, like, if you are this way, if it doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. You hear it and you're like, yeah, I heard it. No, not today. Okay. The universe says for you to reach out to your twin flame. I don't think so. Not today. Mm-mm. I'm not reaching out to this person. Nope. I will seek all other alternatives, right? And so forth. Just not today. Why is there the resistance? Okay. Because when you've met this person, I can, I want to say promise that you felt, because you're on this journey, and I know, you felt like you met the one. Okay. Why is there a resistance? Why is it there? Fear of getting hurt, fear of, I can go on and on with the fears, because if your intuition is guiding you and is telling you something, right? Why is it wrong? It took me a really long time to realize this, guys. Okay. I'm not gonna be out here saying I was this perfect angel along this journey, okay? I sure have an understanding of it, I'll tell you that. But it took me a long time to be like, you know what? God is not hurting me. God's not trying to hurt you. I understand the resistance. I really do. And like I said, love yourself wherever you are. A lot of this stuff, you can't talk yourself out of it. But when you begin to understand, like really understand it, take your time to understand it, you'll come to realize that this is all part of your path. Okay. And when you're following your inner guidance, there's nothing to be afraid of. Now you're going to be like, okay, well, I opened up to this person and they ran. Okay. They ran. I hear you. I say this and they tell me I'm making it up. Like, go away from me and that kind of stuff. You know, the physical world is going to show you some things and you're going to be like, I see it, therefore I believe it. Same thing like your bank account. For some of you out there, your bank account says, I don't know, you have $10 in there, you have negative balance. I don't know who I'm talking to out there, but if you hear it, it's you. And you're like, I have no money, because you're looking in the physical and telling yourself what you're seeing and not realizing there's a whole lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Okay. That money is there. Money is flowing. Money is everywhere. Everywhere. You can create money right now in this very moment with whatever you have. You can create money. You can have money coming through right now, all of you. Okay. If you let go of the belief, there is no money. I see it, therefore, I don't believe it. You know, when you release that, possibilities begin to show up, ideas begin to flow. Okay. And then you'll see signs of, you're like, okay, what does this have to do with twin flame? I'll get there. I'll get there. I'll get there. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. So ideas show up. The universe starts showing you all kinds of things. And now it's up to you to move fast on them. Right? Because sometimes we have an idea. We're like, oh boy, that sounds like a good idea. I'm tired right now. You know, I spend a long time scrolling on my phone. I have to cook dinner. You do. You do. You have to. I have to do some chores around the house. You got to break that pattern, because when you open up to all possibilities, infinite possibilities, the universe is right there to help you and guide you. But you got to listen and follow and say, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's coming ahead of me, but all I know is I'm trusting. I'm letting go of all control of this thing, whether it's money or your twin flame returning, and I'm going with my inner knowing instead, not the physical. So when it comes to the twin flame connection, because I've heard the stories when twin flames reunite, the confusion that happens. Oh, I thought this was going on, right? I thought this was going on, that you didn't want me. And the other person is like, well, you know, I was in a karmic situation and God forbid I spoke to you, something like that. Or what would be one? Uh, my, there, you know, I'm not even gonna make up what they say, but these are the stories I would hear, because there's a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of confusion that takes place when you're going by what you're seeing. Okay, your intuition is telling you it's something else. You're like, okay, I hear my intuition says this, but that's not what I'm seeing. And they're doing this, and that. That's not what I'm seeing. You know, I'm gonna give you guys this homework. Okay, I'm gonna give you homework to help you out. One assignment here. You know, I give homeworks and stuff like that to help with the intuition. Okay. If you get a feeling about someone close to you, because we do. We all have psychic abilities. You know, some are stronger than others depending on how often you use it. So you have an inner knowing about someone. You're like, feels like something's going on with that person. You know, it could be like a sibling, a parent, or something like that. It feels like something's going on with them. Or it seems like they're sad, or they're thinking, it's like I'm feeling something or I'm hearing something. Why are they popping up in my mind? You know, it could be that. I haven't thought about this person in a long time. Why are they on my mind? Talk to them. Okay. And you can, if it's a feeling like something's wrong, ask, is there something wrong? Are you feeling okay? It's likely the person will be like, yeah, no, well, yeah, something is wrong, right? If the person, do this, don't just stay in the believing of it, all right? If a person says, no, nothing's wrong, don't stay in the believing. You heard it from me. Your intuition told you something's going on. So ask if 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 there is something really going on. If you have something really going on, just know I'm here for you. I get it. Okay? And see if they open up then. Because right away, the ego is going to say, oh, okay, well, I was imagining it because they told me, you know, nothing's wrong. I felt it, but they're telling me that. I'm just going to believe it, right? This was me when uh, my intuition was coming on about people around me. So I'm like, all right, maybe I'm imagining it. And the universe was like, that's it, is she? You're just going to take that for an answer? You need to go back there and find out what's going on. And so then I'll go back and find out there was something going on. Okay. our intuition lets us know things. Our gut feeling is there and it tells us things, but we push it to the side and tell it you're lying. It's not true. I don't believe it. What you get is the background of, I call it the background. It's like, I, I'm not calling us actors, but sometimes the universe makes it seem that way because I don't know. The universe is the universe. It's like when you go to a performance and you're looking at the actors on stage, but you have the lighting crew, the director, the makeup crew, you have all these people in the background happening that you don't see. Your intuition is like the background of what's really going on. Okay? The ego is going to perceive something. Oh, they don't want me. They don't like me. Ego, right? And when the ego says this, guess what? The ego believes it. The mind will believe whatever it tells itself. This is why I always say, like, when you have feelings about something, talk about them rather than like letting the mind get in, and the mind is just like, well, they're acting this way and all this kind of stuff, right? Because 99% of the time, what you believe is happening is not what's happening with that person. No. The ego wants to make up all kinds of stuff. Believe me. That's what the ego does. 99% of the time, it's not what you believe it is. And if your twin flame is not ready to open up at that time, perhaps later on they'll be like, listen, this was what was going on with me and I couldn't say anything because I wasn't feeling sure. Okay? Your gut feeling doesn't lie to you. It doesn't. So that's the homework. Try it out. When you have a feeling about somebody someone who's around you, let go of making about your twin flame. Let go of that. And practice these things around you. Okay. All this stuff is not twin flame related. Okay. I'll tell you what's twin flame related in one moment. And if it resonates with you or not, okay, all of these things are not twin flame related. We're talking about connection, intuition, um, getting away from your mind. Okay, moving into a higher state of consciousness, all of this stuff. Now, what's twin flame is the universe. Okay, you gotta believe it's the universe. There's a truck outside. Okay, the universe pulls this connection together. And, I have one story I want to share with you guys, but I can't because this is me. Like, I'm not inviting any energy into it until it unfolds. It's like the universe will pull this connection together in ways you didn't think was coming. So you're looking over here in this direction and it's coming in through this direction. And you're like, yep, that's that truck outside. And you're like, what? I can't make this stuff up. Like, I can't believe that just happened. Let go of thinking that this is all you. Okay. This is the universe. And work on healing where you've been disconnected with yourself, have been outside of yourself. Okay. I love questions are coming in. And work on that while the universe does everything else. Okay, so I've said this 100 times. I'd be so lost on this journey without my spirit guides. They've guided me back to my intuition every time I create a narrative out of something happening in the 3D. Absolutely. You got it. Absolutely. And so everything changes and shifts when you're able to move from the 3D, get in with intuition, move into intuition, move away from the physical, and really go within and allow yourself to be guided. I know that feels scary, right? If you're not used to doing that, that's terrifying. I've been there. Okay. This is your inner person who wasn't taught that they can follow their intuition. They were taught that they had to listen to everybody else. when you were younger. Eat this, don't wear this, don't run out of the street, go to bed at this time, do your homework, constantly. And it's not your parents' fault because they got to be parents, right? And so then there's this constant being outside of your body, and you become out of touch with what your inner knowing is telling you. And so this voice has been talking to you, your intuition has been saying, don't do that, don't go there, go here instead, choose this answer instead, or whatever the case, but you kept second guessing it. Nope, I don't think so. Mm-mm. Let me do this. Okay. Not believing and trusting your intuition. Or perhaps one time it let you down. You're like, my intuition told me this. Like, why didn't it happen? Like, I'm confused. Okay. That doesn't happen very often. It does happen. And I understand if you're like, I don't know how to trust if that had happened. But when it feels really scary to trust your intuition, this is an area for healing. Okay. Because the person inside of you was taught that magic doesn't happen, that things don't just show up without you having to do anything for it, that your inner guidance is going to take you to every single place you want to be. Doesn't matter what it is. Your intuition takes you to all of that. But when you're not trusting it, you're holding yourself back. And you're like, I don't know how to trust with my twin flame machine. I really don't know how to trust with your twin flame. Love yourself through it. Love yourself through that. And let go of fighting that. Because when there is the inability to believe on a twin flame journey where you can't believe what's going on with your twin flame, it's hard to listen to your intuition. We do not focus on that. Okay. A lot of your healing is focusing on you and healing your inner person. Okay. Healing you from within. Why don't you believe in the intuition? Who taught you that? You couldn't believe in yourself, and healing it from there and healing your intuition in other areas of your life. I do not focus on your twin flame. Some of you might be like, why not? I want to. No, no. Let it go. And I know some of you are like, I'm so tired of that phrase, let it go, detach, and all this kind of stuff, right? We're not focusing on your twin flame. I do provide a space for you to open up about your twin flame. I believe in that 100% because how do you know what's going on and get the assistance for figuring it out if you can't talk about it? Okay, you certainly can talk about it. This is a connection that you're not making up. I want a lot of you to get out of this idea, I'm just making this up. The very moment you tell yourself that, just know that it's real. Okay, because that's what happens. People come to me, they're like, Isheen, what is this? I feel like I'm in the twilight zone. I'm making this up. And I immediately tell them, oh, okay, that's your twin flame. I don't have to hear any other story. If you feel like you're making stuff up about this connection and this person, that's your twin flame right there. Okay. You just received confirmation. And you're like, I still don't know. It's okay. Well, ask your spiritual team and they'll help you out in getting those answers, getting your confirmation. Lots of people ask for signs and they get the signs. And I hear it over and over. The signs, they show up. You can always ask your inner guidance to help you through that. All right. So many of you are quiet tonight, which is all right. It's okay. Um, I'm not streaming in Facebook anymore. Many of us streamers out here know Facebook got rid of all of that. And let me see. I'm just checking if I have any comments there. So I'll give it a little bit of a moment. If any of you have any questions, wait a second. I see a question. Thank you. My spirit guides told me this is energetic. So the 3D means nothing. When I get discouraged by the 3D, they say, did you first notice this connection to 3D? No, it's the energy focus there. I love that you mentioned that. It is energy. Okay, it's energy. Uh, many, I've heard people say to me, and perhaps you've heard this, I've been told that there's no running chasing, it's just energy. I'm like, actually, it is. It is. Okay. Whew. Let me walk you through this energy. Okay. So when you meet your person, it is likely that you didn't know what you were in for. And you met someone who everything felt great, right? Everything just, was in place. No, and this is that bubble love phase, and it's there. So you can remember this connection, right? And then what happens? Fear creeps in. Maybe they didn't respond to the text messages like they were doing before. Maybe communication slowed down somehow, and then it triggered a fear of being abandoned or rejected that's been there before this person. So this fear, oh my goodness, they've left me. They've ghosted me. They're not talking to me anymore. Produces an energy that pushes them away. Okay. And before I knew anything about twin flames, I was just like, this is too much of a coincidence. All right. I went through it, that didn't get a response in the text message. And I was like, are you ghosting me? Because if you're ghosting me, just tell me and I'll do it. Don't worry, I'll be fine if you're ghosting me. Right. And in that very moment, he ended things. And then after a while, I was just like, and I didn't understand it at the time. I was just like, that just feels like too much of a coincidence there. And then I started to understand that a lot about energy. Okay. When there's that energy, you know, what energy. I don't like to label it push energy. If I can't find a way to describe it in that moment, I will call it that, but I don't like to call it that because it creates fear in people. Oh my goodness, I'm creating a push energy. Let go of the idea that you're creating a push energy and move into the idea of, all right, what can I do to heal this energy and understand this energy? We got to get out of the negative mindset with this connection and move into, okay, how can I align better? You know, if you notice that you are in that energy of distance, if you are aware of that energy, then do something about it. And some of you are like, I'm doing it, which is great, and I love that. And I applaud you for that. Don't sit in the, I'm creating a push energy. Excuse me, I'm pushing this person. Okay, so spirits are saying, okay, so I went through it. Okay, all right, thank you for reminding me, right? So I'll let you guys know where there is, I'm creating this energy and I don't know how to come out of it. Okay. I know what's going on and I do not know how to come out of it. So it's not that simple. I take that back a little bit. Okay. Thank you. So it's not that simple, you know? And this is healing, guys. When when you begin to heal this the way I do it with you, you notice changes in the first session. And you don't have to talk yourself into doing anything. You don't have to say, I can't think about my twin flame. Let me try not to. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. There are some other things going on too. Okay. So definitely energetic. And then when you balance this energy, so much happens. So much happens. I'm thinking about the karmic person, right? The third party. This, oh my goodness, you guys can change the course of your connection when you understand how energy works. And the negative thinking, when you're able to let that go, okay, you heal it. I say heal because we don't wake up saying, I'm just gonna think negative all day, I'm gonna be negative. We don't choose to be negative. It happens because we've been conditioned to think that way. Okay, and heal that. and feel confident, that connection begins to break down and the person disappears. And why does that happen? Because there's no longer that energy of I'm not chosen, I'm not good enough, they chose them, and all that. That's headed in your twin flames direction. Okay. And then when that is pulled in, your twin flame is able to see what's going on because they know. Stop thinking they don't know about this connection. They do. When you met the one, there's nothing that changes that. Nothing. I don't care who comes into the picture afterwards or anything or was there before. Absolutely nothing changes that. But when there is this energy of, oh my goodness, they're with the other one, it makes it really hard to move into intuition and follow that. But when you have developed that understanding and say, okay, what can I do to shift this energy? Guess what? They're energetically free from being, I got to come up with a 𝐏𝐶's word, okay? Energetically free and can begin to move into their inner knowing that most of them desperately want to be in. Okay. It is not an easy place when someone, I'm telling you this right now. I know you're like, they look so happy. It is not an easy place when the universe does not leave you alone, but you don't know how to break away from this person. Okay. Shift your energy and it helps that. All right. All energy. Okay. My twin flame and I seem to break up to make up and make up only to break up again. Same issues seem to rise. Feels like I'm in a maze sometimes or going in circles. All right. So when you make up, okay, when you make up, uh, your conscious mind, this conscious, subconscious. Okay, we're talking about those two aspects of the mind. Okay, then there's soul, there's your intuition, right? Your conscious mind says, we're going to make it. We're going to make it. This is going to work. My twin is here. Your subconscious mind, oh, wait, let's stick with your conscious. Your conscious mind said, this is going to work. Your intuition says, hooray, everything's going great. But there's your subconscious mind, who, I say who, like it's a person, right? Is creating your reality. Okay. Subconscious creates your reality. Your conscious and your intuition, they know, they're planning, you're feeling it, they know, but your subconscious mind, where everything comes from, it's that deep within that you probably forgot about, is like, nope. Mm-mm. I've been taught that men are like this, women are like this, relationships don't last. People hurt each other. This person's going to hurt me. I can't let them hurt me. I've been educated that relationship is painful. So why would I want to do that? Okay. This is subconscious. I don't know what your subconscious mind is saying. All right. But that's what's being shown by your twin. Okay. So by now, a lot of you have heard about the mirror, and it works because unless you do the work where you're tapping into your subconscious mind, breaking the belief, there's different ways to do it. I'm hearing affirmations can do it. What I teach is faster. Hey, I'm here to tell you guys about the ways that I can help you, right? Obviously, I'm going to do that because I see how transformative it really is. Okay. And you connect with that part of yourself that's still holding on to that belief and heal it, it stops showing up in your connection. It won't show up. Okay. Wherever fear is still sitting there, yeah, I know it looks like it's your twin flame. Many of us, we point our fingers and say, it's them, it's not me, it's them. I'll put it this way. This is going on for a while, and I appreciate that you guys are still here, right? I'll put it this way. If you grew up in a household where what relationship? We hide our feelings. We bury what we feel inside of us. We don't even know what feelings look like anymore. Parents are constantly arguing, somebody's cheating, and all this kind of stuff. Let me take cheating out. That's such a sensitive one there. I don't like this whole cheating thing. Not a fan, never have been, and all this kind of stuff. And you guys know my story, the generational that sent me down a path of ugliness that I had to heal. And so these beliefs are still there. You're used to these patterns without realizing that you're used to these patterns. And your twin flame is showing you that, those patterns, because that's what your subconscious mind looks for. That's what it knows about connection. And so you can talk all you want, be like, I don't want you to treat me this way. But if that belief is still there subconsciously, they show it to you again and again and again. And so if you want to break, and it's not just twin flame, this is with different areas of life. You pick an area. You can be like, okay, why is this showing up in my reality? What did I experience? What is it showing me that's happening inside of me, right? Break that pattern and it doesn't show up again. Okay? You got it. This is such an important step. This is the reason why in your previous relationships, or maybe with your twin flame, you keep saying, listen, I need you to listen. I need you to spend more time. I need you to do all of this stuff. And it wasn't working. It's not going to work that way if subconsciously you're believing men are not there. Women are angry. They don't. This is all stuff that you were taught about connection, about people. This was the reality that was shown to you. And it kept repeating with this person. You got to heal that one. Okay. Why are we on such a journey? Good question. I really like that question. Okay. Really like that one. We've been on a journey. It's not that we just came into the twin flame journey. We actually been on the journey. And so a lot of the things that you're learning about, twin flames and all this kind of stuff is not twin flame related. They were there. Perhaps previous partners, if you had one, was trying to show you these things. But in a soulmate connection, you can get away with being around each other and still hating each other. You're like, I absolutely can't stand this person. They don't listen. They don't this. They don't that. Your twin flame comes in the picture and your intuition says, hey, that's your person. So because these experiences that are in here have not been healed, it shows up in the biggest way in your twin flame. Now, there is no continuing with this person the way that you were able to with a soulmate, because it's like mirror times two. And the reason why it's there is to, I want to say, push you. I try to put it in a nicer way, to really take a look at your thought process, your patterns, your way of experiencing relationships. Okay? If this connection, maybe not, maybe you could have learned it from somebody else. I don't know. If this connection didn't show up in the biggest way that it did, perhaps you wouldn't be here watching videos trying to figure it out. Okay? Because these patterns were not created by your twin flame. They show them to you. You're pretty much being with yourself. I rather being with you, all of you. Okay. And now is that moment to stop tucking these patterns underneath the rug and telling yourself you're going to be okay when you know you're not going to be okay. Okay. Take a look at them and heal them. That's what the connection is showing you. Okay. In order for us to know what is going on with us, it's mirror to us so we can see it. Okay. Your soulmate connection did that too. They did that. But, at that time, probably didn't care much about the person. You had trauma bond and you're just like, I just want to end things. Like, this is too painful, right? But with your twin flame, it's like, okay, that's the person for me. What can I do? How can I heal past this pain that keeps showing up in every connection I've had? So that's the twin flame journey. And, many of us look at it like it's a relationship. I'm getting into a relationship. You're getting into a connection with yourself, with God. Okay. That's what the connection is. And you're like, well, how can I experience love? Well, it's your love. You're experiencing your love. You're healing and you're coming into that place of Zen, of bliss, love within yourself, and it's mirrored back to you. It's always been like that. It is not twin flame related. It could have happened with someone else if you had known all of this stuff. Okay. All right. So R.L. Veras, thank you. I saw when that comment came up. So after 4 months of separation, I had the inner knowing, did the inner union work, balancing, belief, followed the synchronicities and intuition. They came back. Their walls were still up though. Okay, all right. Glad you mentioned that. Glad you mentioned that. We have this belief that the twin flame is just going to come in. Whether you know that you have the belief or not, you're probably like, 𝐿, don't put me in that because I didn't have that belief. That's okay. That's okay. A lot of us do that. I've been healing. This person's just going to come back and, ooh, we go off in the sunset. It's not always that way. Not what I'm observing, not what I've experienced. Okay. You've done the healing. Things had the way this connection works. I say works, but if it resonates with you, if it doesn't, that's fine. Is that there are unhealed parts of you that surfaces. Whatever took place in your connection before you went different ways, if it's not healed yet, it comes up for that, for the purpose of healing. And so, I don't want to manifest it for you guys. What I can say is recognize what ego looks like. Recognize what triggers look like. When you understand this about yourself, you're able to see it in your twin flame. If your twin flame is in an ego moment because they're releasing whatever pain was there in the connection beforehand, what I don't want you to do is go into, oh, it's not working. No, they're learning, they're healing, they're growing. And because of the amazing healing you've done, Josh, okay, you hold space for their healing. A lot of times we try to rush it. I want this connection. If your twin flame comes back, the walls are up, it's everything is unfolding. Allow it to unfold. Meet your twin flame where this person is. Okay. Even if it means like, all right, well, I'm just gonna hold space. I'm not gonna say anything, it's hard for me to describe it in this video, which gives them the room and space for growing and healing so that their walls come down. And you might be like, why do I have to do all of this work? Why do I have to? Okay. Because you've been healing. And your twin flame may not quite be where you are and still need to get some stuff off and trust. It's still a mirror somewhere. There's still a mirror somewhere, But that's what typically happens. And so when the twin flame comes back, a lot of times when there is this, all right, let's do this and start planning the wedding and all this kind of stuff, it creates distance all over again. Let the connection unfold on its own. Do not rush things with expectations and control. Okay. And continue to do what you're doing because your twin flame came back. You're doing something. Something's working. Keep doing it. Okay. So they ran again. Oh, See, I should have read all the other things you put there before giving that whole story. So let's see this. They ran again and went straight back to someone else again. Either the karmic they knew wasn't it or someone new. I know that they're running and lying to themselves about us changing our story. If you haven't reached out, reach out. Okay. It hurt and experiencing the most anger since separation. I know this is just another step, but having trouble with believing or trusting now or moving forward without resent my gut. And yeah, I would have to hear your story out. I gave this whole other thing too and stuff like that. You know, I don't know your story exactly, but what I do know is when we go into ego, they're saying some lessons to be learned still, is what I'm hearing intuitively. When we move into ego, it the ego creates such a reality. So I can't say for sure what's going on with your situation, but these are things that I've observed. When the ego is still pretty strong somewhere there, it affects the connection. Okay. And I'm not going to dismiss your pain. If you haven't reached out, certainly do. So, intuition always knew this little reunion wouldn't be it. Okay. But I never expected to feel so flat and blocked after so much ascension. I know I need to turn inward. Any tips? Okay, that's another video. I can't go into that. We'll be here for a while. And thanks for answering my question. Absolutely. No, that was so helpful already. Thank you. Oh, I know it's not over. It's not over. Certainly reach out. I will be putting my link to my 30-minute free session. You come on there and let's talk about it. Okay. So I'll put the link there. I'm also having a masterclass, not a masterclass, a 6 weeks class for the women. Okay. This is Divine Feminine Essence. I'll also put a link there. This is about being in your feminine energy and healing. Well, healing and balancing your feminine and your masculine energy and really getting more of a connection. I apologize to the men. This class is for the ladies, okay? But I have other classes coming up too. Thank you so much, everyone, for hopping on. I always enjoy having you here with me live and also replay. All right, bye.